think we can start, Mr. Mayor.
Ready? Okay.
Ms. Clark, do you
All
ready?
right. Good evening, everyone. I call this meeting of Hamtramck City Council to order. Today is October 10th, 2023. It's 7:11 p.m. Would the clerk call the rules, please?
Councilman Wood.
Yes.
Councilman Al-Samiri.
Yes.
Councilman Hassan.
Yes.
Councilman Chaudhry.
Present.
Councilman Musa.
Yes.
Councilman Rafai.
Present.
Mr. Mayor, you're present. We have a quorum.
Thank you. Let's rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, one republic for which it stands, one nation under God, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Do we have any community announcements?
You can go around. No, that's fine. You're the leader.
You have one? Okay.
Hi, just wanted to remind everyone about our second annual trunk or treat for the Hamtramck Public Safety Department. It will be October 25th from 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. right out front in Zussman Park. There will be activities and treats, costumes are encouraged. If anyone wants to host a trunk, a table, or a tent, please just show up and be prepared to pass out goodies.
And you want to talk about that line real quick? Just
Yes.
Caesars?
So the, our grant coordinator, and myself and Eastern Michigan University have been working on a grant through the COPS program, which is a federal grant. We've been doing a lot of work on planning, police department training for de-escalation and things like that, working with people with mental illness and disabilities. Eastern Michigan University will be creating a virtual reality headset for the police department to work on this training. We submitted a grant application and the city it was announced that we were awarded $800,000 for this program. So hopefully we will be bringing that back at the next meeting for your approval. And then we'll start working with Eastern Michigan University on building that program and training our officers. So very excited about that one.
All right.
Thank you.
Good news. Thank you.
I have an announcement.
Yes, go ahead.
Let me just remind everybody that the general city election is November 7th from 7 a.m. till 8 p.m. And AV ballots are available in all languages, well, 3 languages at the clerk's office. And it is a poll location since we are distributing AV ballots, so all candidates must be 100 feet away from the door, no campaigning on property, on grounds, city hall grounds, and no assisting voters in and out of the building. That's it.
Are we still gonna have a meeting before the election, right?
Yes.
We will, yep, there actually, my luck, there's a meeting the week before and the week after. So,
Okay.
I'll be running an election and setting up the agenda items for you guys.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Any other announcements?
Oh, can I add, I'm sorry, the MML meeting will be next week also, so we'll all be attending hopefully. So, sorry, go ahead.
Okay. One more.
I'd just like to invite everyone to the fire department open house this Saturday from noon till 3 p.m. We're gonna have demonstrations and handouts for the kids, so come on by between noon and 3 p.m.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Spare, I think that's all we got.
All right. And it looks like we don't have any proclamations or presentations, right? Any additions or deletions to the agenda?
No, sir.
All right, public comments?
Thank you, sir. Mr. Bill Meyer, 3 minutes, sir. Talk about anything your heart desires.
Oh,
And
All
welcome
right,
back.
well, I'm sorry I missed my favorite entertainment of the month for the last few months, but I'm back to enjoy the fun here. However, it's a serious thing going on right now, and I'd like to address the issue in Gaza right now. I've been to Gaza myself, and it was an unforgettable experience. I met many beautiful people there who treated me like an honored guest. And I have friends both in Israel and in Palestine who are fighting for peace and justice. Gaza is the most densely populated spot on earth. Over 2 million people live in 170 square miles. The area is completely controlled by a foreign power. No one can enter or leave the area without permission from Israel. Israel controls all the land, air, and sea gates and routes. It's now, today, cutting off all resources to the area. Electricity, water, lights, power, medicine, food, everything. Totally cut off. No ins, no outs, nobody coming into it. With the intent to kill off as many people as they can in retribution for what happened. It's been called the largest open-air prison in the world, Gaza, 2 square miles, 170 square miles. The current fanatic right-wing government that's there, Netanyahu, has created the extreme conditions that prompted this latest surge for survival by the Palestinians. All Jews and Arabs are now suffering. We must fight to end this new violence and to end the occupation of Palestine by Israel and find a way for the people to live together there. As for issues here in Hamtramck, which seem to pale compared to what's going on in the rest of the world, I'd like to remind listeners of 3 facts. Can I get an extra minute?
Yes.
Okay. I'll just, 3 facts I'm going to give you that I keep reminding the viewers over the months and years. I don't know why these aren't sinking in, but I'll have to say them again. One is, this is a Muslim majority city. It has been for over 10 years. Took a few years for something to finally catch on. As a matter of fact, it's such a large majority that if you filled this room here with the exact ratio of people in the city, you would fill it with Muslims, and there would be 5 non-Muslims in this room. That's how many Muslims are in the city. What we see at these meetings do not represent the ethnographic makeup of Hamtramck. It doesn't even come close to representing the actual people who live in this town. So keep that in mind. We're here and we're voicing our opinions, but there's many, many people who are not here voicing their opinions. Second, this is not the only Muslim majority city in Michigan. It's the only one in the entire Americas of the Western Hemisphere. Over 1 billion people. This is the only Muslim majority city among 1 billion people. I'm talking percentage. If you're born, they might have more Muslims. But I'm talking percentage. And thirdly, this is also the poorest city in Michigan. 1,400 municipalities. This is the poorest city, income per capita. Maybe poor economically, that's all it means. But it's probably one of the richest cities in Michigan because of its diversity and excitement and the people who live here. I'm very proud of living in Hamtramck, and I wouldn't move from here. I'm thrilled with what you guys are doing, and I hope we can continue trying to find ways for us all to live together in peace and justice. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Greg? Nope, I'm sorry, not you, Greg. I apologize. Greg Kirchner.
Mayor, Council, I would just like to give you a report that this last Sunday, we had a candidate forum at the Hamtramck Public Library. Over 100 people attended the forum, and basically for each attendee, the discussion spills out to another 10 per person, so at least 1,000 people will be talking about this candidate forum between now and the election day. Okay. From the incumbents, only Councilman Naim Chowdhury took part, and he made a very good impression on the voters. Face-to-face contact with the electors makes a big difference. The video that was made from the event is already online. It's went on the Channel 19 today, and it will be running until the election day, basically. Now, there's only 4 weeks left before the elections. The organizers of the forum are non-partisan and did not endorse any of the candidates. Now, this event was organized by a cross-section of the residents of the city. So there were representatives pretty much from each ethnic community. It marks the beginning of the teamwork between the old-timers and the newcomers to the city. A new era of joint cooperation has been given a start. We found common ground and opened avenues for future cooperation between all residents of the city. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Greg. Elizabeth Vellum? Sandra Jessup?
In a democracy, citizens should be heard. Overturn the limitation on public comment.
Thank you. Justin Jessup?
Mr. Mayor, I once again ask that you would ask Councilman Chowdhury to pay attention to his citizens as they're trying to get his attention.
Thank you, Justin.
Thank you.
Sarah Carrion?
Hello. I don't really want to be here today. I feel like I have to be here because this council continues to put limits on public comment. I have a life outside of being here and feeling like a political watchdog to make sure people aren't being silenced. The reality is when you make unpopular decisions that affect the entire city, people are going to come to the meetings and tell you about it. Yeah. So please reconsider the limits on public comment so residents can be heard. Also, I feel like the emails need to be read before the agenda items, otherwise it's pointless to send one in. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Greg Mayering? Thank you, Greg. Maruf Sinai?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Maruf Zannat.
Please, I'm sorry, make sure you're not on the speaker, on the mic. Thank you.
Reason I'm here to share some issue with everybody about my property taxes. And I've been sick. I've been sick since 2016, and I'm just receiving some disability. That's all my income I have. I do not have any other income, and I have included 3 other dependent, which is my 2 sons and my wife and me. So every other year, like last 2 years, my ICs, my taxes was like 14, 16, something like that, 100 each year. And this year they increased to like 4,800 something. Also, I have another bill came for 2020 and 21, another like I think almost $9,000 for last 2 years, which is 2000 and 2001. So also I lost my mom last week. She's a person in England, so my financial problem, I cannot afford it to go to her funeral or to see her. So that's all my question right now.
What's your address?
It's 2489 Browning.
I think we discussed with Max, he's looking into it, right?
You can hand your documents to Max.
At
and
9 Browning.
Rally, okay.
sorry for your loss
Yes.
of your mom.
Mr. Mayor, this is all for public comment.
All right, so we move to
All
consent.
right. So we move to the consent agenda. This is approved with a single motion with no discussion. We have A, approval of minutes from the September 26, 2023 regular city council meeting. B, approval of invoice register date ending October 10th, 2023. Approval of pre-approved expenditure date ending October 9th, 2023. Resolution 2023-153 approving appointment to boards and commissions.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All right, do we have everybody in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
And we have the appointee, had one. It's appointed to the DDA. So,
Sorry, the cameraman too.
So,
I'm not even waving.
It's okay. You're
No,
okay.
that's fine.
I took a picture.
I, had one,
I had one.
do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of the State of Michigan,
and the Constitution of the State of Michigan,
and I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of
the duties of
the Downtown Development Authority
the Downtown Development Authority
of the City of Hamtramck
of the City of Hamtramck
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you, congratulations.
Nice signature.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
We move to the new business, and we have the first resolution, 2023-154, approving the purchase of self-contained breathing apparatuses.
Motion. Second.
Mr. Mayor, I have a fire chief here to describe what exactly this is.
The self-contained breathing apparatus are the air packs that firefighters wear when entering a burning building or any IDLH atmosphere. What we're beginning this year with this budget cycle is to begin purchasing to replace our current units. The current units we have are 9 years old. They're already one NFPA cycle behind. The new units will allow us to be more compliant. They have new safety features, they have decontamination features. And to begin this cycle here by purchasing two and beginning a cycle of purchasing them every budget year will lessen our impact financially down the road. The last two purchases of SCBA's have been through grant purchases, and it's been a major cost for us. This year, by buying them now, we start doing this, will lessen the impact down the road, and if these grant opportunities aren't there, it would lessen the impact on the budget by trying to replace everything at once.
Chief, is this, just a quick question, is this fund coming from the general fund or the narcotic? It's
This is coming from the
general
general
fund.
fund, yes.
It is.
Yeah, that's
Just to-
that's the reason why we want to do this gradually, a few at a time every year, so that the impact on the general fund is less compared to if we change everything, 15, 16 of them in one go, then it will be difficult.
All right, thank you.
Could have been better with, if you could have purchased some from the narcotic fund.
From what, from?
No, that's as a chair. That's related to the police department. Chief would allow.
We can say the police department needs them.
Wait till agenda item G.
Oh,
We
Business coming.
try to do the best we can.
All
Thank
right.
you.
That'll be back.
Any discussion?
No, sir.
All right, go ahead and vote.
Councilman Rafai,
Yes.
Councilman Musa,
Yes.
Councilman Chowdhury,
Yes.
Councilman Mahmoud,
Yes.
Councilman Al Samiri,
Yes.
Councilman Hassan.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, resolution 2023-154 approved.
Thank you. Next one is resolution 2023-155, approving the renewal of workers' compensation access insurance and third-party administrator.
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Mayor, I have our HR, Ms. Burton here, accompanied by insurance representative as well, for any questions you may have. This is an annual expense, pretty cut and dry, but in case you have any questions.
Hello, council members, Mr. Mayor. I'm going to start it off with Patricia because she has the background information about the renewal of the first proposal that was in 2021, wasn't it?
Well, we've been self-funded for many decades,
Okay.
but this is the renewal. So you do either a 2-year renewal or a 1-year renewal. And you did a 2-year renewal in 2021 to 23, and then we came up on renewal again for July 1, self-funded workers' compensation program. And I've met many of you, I don't know if you remember me, maybe I'm a little fatter now, but because I've come here before to talk about claims with you. So, so the program, we say it's self-funded, but we actually have excess insurance in place to protect the city from catastrophic claims and also influx of claims. And being self-funded allows you the opportunity to have more control over the claims, more investigation, more opportunity to do what needs to be done to keep the cost of the program down. And over the years, we've provided charts to show you what your costs have been annually. And if you should have received some information in a packet. Did I receive this packet or no?
No.
It should be, it's on your board doc.
Is it?
Okay, okay. And it's the same summary that we provide every renewal that summarizes everything for you. The market is not as hard as it was. When I say hard, I mean the terms of the insurance industry are a little bit tighter right now. But it's not as hard as it was in 2021, but it's still a little bit hard right now, and it's a cycle, so it'll come back down. And so the excess insurance was an 8,000, call it 8,100, 8,099 renewal, and then the TPA was 1,159 for the next 12 months. If you wanted to lock it in for 2 years, you can. I'd have to go back to the insurance company and ask. But it's in your best interest because I don't see the market coming down yet for a couple more years.
So there's no current benefit for doing for 2 years, the same,
We'll lock in the price.
like the
Yeah.
price?
Yeah, so every year, I went back and looked at the history to see, it's just the market's been tough, and when you have police and fire, there's an inherent risk there, right? And so the insurance companies, there's only a few out there that are willing to insure police and fire. And so I don't see the pricing getting any better. It'll cycle back around, but it's gonna be a few more years. So the benefit is that you lock in the rate so we don't have another increase next
So
year.
you don't have this option unless if insurance drop, it can drop, but if it increases, it remains same. Do you have
Right.
this option?
Yeah, it would stay the same for most would be those 2 years.
If you get a better rate next year, can you cancel it and go?
We can cancel.
So from last time until now we're renewing, it went up by almost, I think, 10,000, correct?
Yes, roughly, just a little bit less than 10% of the whole program. About 9% and some change.
All right.
All right then.
You asked the same question I was gonna ask, that's fine.
All right, thank you.
Necessity?
Thank you, ladies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Ready?
Yeah.
Councilman Hassan,
Yes.
Councilman Mahmoud,
Yes.
Councilman Musa,
Yes.
Councilman Rafai,
Yes.
Councilman Chowdhury,
Yes.
Councilman Al Samiri,
Yes.
and Mr. Mayor, resolution 2023-155 approved.
Thank you.
So we approved it for 1 year, right?
Yes,
1 year.
1 year.
All right, next one is resolution 2023-156, authorization to change the price of Dequander Dyer, ODR, Grand Haven, and woodland lots in the residential lot sale.
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Mayor, I have Ms. Faulkner here to talk a little bit about this. In general, it's an attempt to garner some more interest in this area, but go ahead.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Mayor, Council. I'm happy to be here. So there actually is quite a bit of interest in these areas just because the lots are larger. But the price is a little bit high for that neighborhood. It's separated from I-75. There are no schools over there. There are no, there's not as many amenities. You know, a lot of people want to be close to downtown, this part of Hamtramck. And so despite, I've given about 4 tours to developers and buyers who were like very interested, close to buying, but never quite crossed the finish line. And it's been it's been over 2 years now that we've been doing this program. So this is a proposal for those lots to be changed from 10,000 to 5,000. Again, this is on the other side of I-75. We have quite a few lots over there, very many. The cost for us as a city to maintain them is pretty high. And the demand for development is just not quite as strong. I believe that being able to market them at 5,000, which means actually put it on our website that that is the price for that neighborhood, will actually help because most investors do most of their research online. They won't call and say, you know, will you give me a discount? People don't want to make those kind of calls, so I want to actually change the listing price. As well, for the very thin lots that are not very big, they could be added as a side lot to an existing house. None of the large chunks of parcels couldn't be side lots, but just the very, very thin ones could be added as a side lot to existing houses.
If people are interested to add it to their lot, or you just proposing from your own? The small lots next to their houses, they are showing interest to get into it, or it just?
So right now in the program, throughout the whole city, if you buy a lot, you have to develop on it. But on that side of the city, there's only interest in the larger lots, because when people are looking over there, they're looking because the lots are bigger. You could have a driveway, you could develop maybe a small apartment building, you could have just a really big house. And so I don't believe that there's a market for the really tiny lots on the other side of the highway, so we could sell them, just those ones, as side lots, where you wouldn't have to develop those specific ones. It only applies to a few of them.
Mr. Mayor, Council, you guys also have a map in front of you that we provided of the actual lots.
Mr. Chair,
Let's go.
what's the percentage that if we lower these prices, we're gonna sell these?
You mean my,
What the chances are?
my chance, what I think?
Our chances that if we lower these,
I can't say that for sure, but I know some people have come and they've looked at about 10 of them. You know, they wanna maybe build 10 houses. So right now, that would be to buy $100,000. And making it 50 just seems a lot more appealing. But obviously I don't have, you know, an exact, estimate, but I do think it would help.
okay.
I think it's more based upon her experience thus far with the
Sure. Mr. Chair?
Yes, Councilman Chau.
I just want to get clarification on this. This is only for those lots that city-owned lots, not those right next to the residents, right, you know, or those who own the lots. We're not changing those prices, right? Just the.
This is for the city-owned lots that are part of the residential lot sale. We've published booklets like this before. We're also gonna update the booklet. So it's just the city-owned lots that it would change, and it's just for the lots on the other side of I-75. And again, it's because there's just simply not as many amenities over there. It's quite far from the center of the city.
Sure.
It's not at the same market price, in my opinion, as the rest of the city.
I see. I'm afraid, like, I don't want to, like, conflict with the other lots that, you know, we're changing prices to those one that, you know, it's isolated a little bit from the city, but there are other lots that are a little bit isolated in the neighborhood, maybe wanted to have a lower price, you know. But I want to make sure that we're doing it because of these, not that many high demand in that area, you know. We want to develop a house or someone to be interested.
That is the case, Councilman, and keep in mind too that the longer we have them, the more it costs to maintain them.
Yeah.
I'll say also, at least a lot of our lots are over here, maybe a third of them. As well, other parts of the city, you can still pretty safely walk and bike to the center of the city, whereas here you're crossing a highway. And it's just, it feels to me different than like other outskirts parts of the city on the edges because of that highway crossing.
Sure. Yeah, I know exactly where you come from, this.
Mr. Chair, very shortly I'm going to speak. So did you make this a specific area as a pilot program? So it's not discriminating with the city other side of the 75 lots? If somebody can say that kinds of word?
Just to say your question again, sir.
So you specifically assigned this area?
Just the area on
Okay.
I-75.
So on what base, I understand what you're saying, nobody buying, long time, now somebody interested for the low price. If somebody interested, is it they can go the same price, they can, still has to go through the bid process, right?
Yeah, they would still have to come here and present.
No, it still has to go through the bid process, right?
It's not a bid, they just put in
Auction?
an application and we
No,
present
no, it
it.
still has to go the auction.
These aren't options.
No, this is the city owns
These
it.
are the lot program where we're developing them, where you can purchase a lot, but you have to develop it within 2 years. This is completely separate from the auction.
I know, we had it lot before, so it's still, you're gonna assign somebody, or you still has to go through the auction process?
It's not an auction, they just buy the property.
Yeah, you basically just apply for it with a plan.
Okay,
No
so
bid.
anybody can buy it?
Anyone can buy it.
Okay, let's say he put, somebody put the 10,000, and I go tell them to, I'm gonna buy the 12,000, how are you
It's not
gonna
a
decide?
bid.
We
It's
process
not a
it
bid. You have to
first come, first served.
Yeah, first come,
Okay,
first
the answer,
served,
there you
based
go.
upon-
First come, first
So in
served.
that case, my city, hypothetically talking, don't need the money right now. I understand to maintain the little cost. There is the reason it could be in future gonna have a more demand. That area is very close to the Detroit downtown also. Specifically, I drove that area right now. It's 300 times better than before. There is I love it. I love to move that area right now, but I don't have enough money to move it. I love those area right now better than ever in my life, 27 years. So I still want to keep those in under my city. That is my opinion.
Only if they have more questions.
I think, we're trying to emphasize, or we're trying to marketing, right? The intention is to get this, someone to be interested, and we're just trying to do the market so that people can show interest and maybe build something there, because it's been sitting there for a while. Yeah. Okay.
After people know how much is taxes.
Those are the document, 22 pieces, we have only 22 pieces there.
Yeah, I think I looked at it later, I think I'm missing one of those squares, might be 23.
So how many pieces we are selling? Those are 5,000.
About 60, and over 10 have sold, but they're all in the center of the
For
city.
those resolution, how many pieces?
Oh, we haven't sold any on that side of the highway yet.
Do you have someone interested to buy the whole 10 or 16?
All of them, no, I don't have anyone interested. I've done about 4 tours to people who seemed significantly interested at the time, but so far nobody has come through with any application or plans.
Or can we do the action for this property?
No.
We could, if that's what
Yeah,
council
well, that's why
wants.
his question. Can we
Can we do the
process-
action if
Excuse
people are
me,
interested? They can.
We absolutely can do whatever council wants. I mean, if we want to
Yeah,
leave them in this
that's what we're
program, or we
talking.
can auction them.
can say
At the
what-
moment, we're still trying to market them and get someone to develop them, but ultimately, I suspect if we are unsuccessful with that, after more time passes, then we probably will auction them.
Mr. Chair, go ahead.
And that's the problem right now, I know so many people that we're trying to build in the city of Hamtramck. I mean, after what they're seeing, their taxes, what other people are paying, no one wants to develop in Hamtramck. And especially if they're gonna buy either for $5,000 or $10,000, and in the end, they're gonna be paying almost between $10,000 to $15,000 when the house is done. So I think it's just pointless of lowering them right now. Let's try to sell what we have in our city, and then if we need to sell them, if we're desperate as a city, if our budget is, it's not doing good, then we can sell it. But right now,
Oh, no, she
Huh?
did not interrupt.
Narrow lots aren't buildable.
Which one?
You said there's narrow lots?
I was
No.
gonna comment on something.
No, I'm just saying, because the reason is, no one wants to invest, like you said, there's 4 people that showed up. I brought people from New York to that area. I spoke to Max about it. When they find out how much taxes people are actually paying, they don't wanna invest in Hamtramck. And I had people that actually bought across the street from Detroit, and they're building houses in Detroit. It's because they're gonna pay cheaper taxes.
Mayor, if I could clarify one thing. Right now with the residential lot sale, we do require that development agreement that people sign. So if we were to go an auction, it's a bit less, people have more freedom of what they do with it generally with an auction, whereas with this process, you know, we're requiring development. So that's just something to keep in mind between the two processes. And, the other thing that the clerk pointed out was, if you notice on here, there are some super narrow ones that are very thin. Those are the few that I'm requesting we don't require development, but would allow just to be purchased and added onto someone's house. And that is only allowed in zoning if your total parcel size is not wider than 60 feet. So you couldn't just buy like 5 of them and have a, you know, a block-long front yard. It would just be for those really small lots.
Mr. Chair,
Yes,
can I request something? So, the small little lots that are next to houses, why not offer these, you know, if they wanna buy these lots next to their house, let's offer them, you know, with the same amount that we were selling in the other lots, and not require them to build on these. If we're, you know, thinking about, oh, well, it costs us to maintain these, well, any lot that's next to a house, you know what? Tell them, hey, you wanna buy this lot for $10,000, but you don't have to build with it, I'll at least maintain it. They can add it as a backyard to their house.
Just saying stay at 10,000, but allow the side lots for this tiny lot.
To those individuals who are, maybe they wanna buy them. Cause we're talking about, oh, well, it's gonna cost us money to maintain them. Well, let's start selling the ones that are, and I guarantee you, if I own a house and there's a lot next to me, I'll buy it. But people are afraid to buy these houses because we have that rule that you gotta build within 2 years.
Could amend the resolution just for this area to do that in.
Oh,
If the
we
rest of the city
decided,
were
yeah,
adding
what
on,
we're gonna
people
do.
actually adding
We
on to
can put it,
houses.
And that's kind of what the proposal was, just for this area to allow that.
So it's part of it, you don't have to
Do you
amend
want
it.
to amend it, Councilman?
no, no,
Well,
no.
they want to keep it at
No,
10,000. They could amend it,
No.
because they're keeping it at 10,000.
Right.
But then
Just keep it at
allowing the
10,000,
side
but Allow
lots.
this area to be add on without building.
If my colleague-
So
Because that's-
the condition of developing these lots is still apply, even if we lower the price to 5,000, right? For these ones?
Yeah, sorry, it's kind of tricky. So this has two things in it. So the main one was that all of these would change to 5,000 instead of 10,000. And then in cases where there's a side lot, where your new house and the current land, or new land would not be more than 60 feet, that could be a side lot.
So that's
So
what Councilman is saying, he's wanting,
Mhm.
except for I think you guys are saying you wanna keep it at 10,000. So basically, if you're either approving half or approving both here. So half of it would be to approve the side lots not having the building restrictions, or, the 10,000 and over.
But side lots, they still have to purchase it 5,000 or 10,000, but they're not getting it
You
free.
can keep it at 10,000, but
the
remove the
council's
restrictions.
Right.
Yeah, it's up to you guys.
Right, exactly.
And for the rest of the city, we would still require the development agreement. And for any of these large chunks of land here, we'd still require the development agreement.
I see.
So if we cancel the development agreement for all of them, I'm sure they're gonna be sold fast, and we're gonna save the maintenance cost for the city.
That's what I was going to say, yeah, that's true.
I mean, isn't that a good option? Because they are not being sold easily, so.
Or give them extended time,
The
maybe.
mayor's onto something, if you couple it with, I mean, we're gonna bring up an I don't know, did you wanna?
Yeah, well, so our attorney was pointing out that the ordinance on the agenda today actually goes towards strengthening our rules on vacant lots and vacant properties or buildings. So, I mean, if you did go that route and you pass this ordinance, we actually have teeth to make sure that, you know, something does happen with those lots in the long run. Either that or whoever purchases them pays a significant amount more just to maintain.
So if you remove all restrictions, let them get sold, we're already trying to get people with vacant lots to develop. So honestly, it becomes not redundant, but I mean, she does a good job with them, making them, you know, but if they're not being sold, and you wanna just get them going, and as he said, the price is mounting for how much, I don't know, what does it cost to maintain them?
Not too
Once
much.
again, it's in the total.
It's not even $1,000.
But I can tell you that I'm pretty sure CED
No.
would not be disappointed if they don't have to maintain these anymore.
Right, so I didn't wanna step on toes, but yeah, I think that
To
removing the restrictions, we do have teeth now, if we pass this
Mr.
ordinance.
Mayor, but I'm gonna get into the Rafai, what he's saying, about the tax issue. Is there something can we offer the new builders that we don't have to pay it?
He
Or,
cannot say that.
you know, tax,
No,
minimize
no
their
way you can
taxes
say that.
for first few years, maybe at
So
least.
Discrimination.
we are exploring programs to try to do that. We haven't gotten too far just yet, but, ones we've looked at, we can't really do citywide,
Right.
which makes it hard to do, because you gotta do like specific areas.
The reason
There are
I'm
lots all
saying,
over the place.
sorry to interrupt, but the reason I'm saying, the city of New Jersey, Patterson, they have the same issue. They're not a rich city, poor city. And they're offering people, if you build a new house, new building, or apartment building, whatever, you don't have to pay taxes for certain years, like they're giving a break.
What city?
Patterson, New Jersey.
New Jersey,
Patterson.
Peterson.
Yes.
Oh,
Well, that's called tax abatement, you know, but
state laws.
we're gonna have a
Yep.
problem.
Follow the state law.
Yeah.
Mr. Chair, may I?
Let's start with the Mayor Pro Tem and then Khalil.
So, here is the one, when an emergency manager came, sold everything. And we are buying again all those things back. So this city, 2 square mile, my opinion is my opinion. I don't wanna sell anything right now. All those things, that area I need a development too. So don't wanna give the next house to the 10,000, don't build anything, that means we're not developing anything. 10 years ago, Mr. Khalil, same process we had. The first priority is the next house, lot to next house, that the first one got it. There's lots of people got already like that, and without build the buildings. So right now, my opinion, we have enough discussion, I know we're gonna have more maybe. I wanna keep as it is, the maintenance cost is not that high. So then we can go there, there's a couple of proposal came, I like that, maybe we have to make have a seat with the attorney and city manager, one of or individual, to come to the good plan. And that case, we bring later on this resolution with the everything square. That's why I feel.
Mr. Chairman. And that's why I was trying to, if we can propose it until whenever we think what we wanna do with these lots and then bring it back. So we don't wanna kill it. Let's
Table.
let's table it.
Now is coming the right
I think
word.
you do motion to table.
He let him do it because he's the one bringing, that's why I just
So-
put him in a spot. Motion it and we'll support it.
So, let's table it and then until we decide what we wanna do and then we go from there.
Mr. Chair, I will ask you a
Go ahead.
If the developer pay $10,000, we can agree to sell it?
No, I'm not, it's my.
If the developer want to
You're
pay.
tabling it right now, so in the
Tabling.
meantime, it's gonna stay as is
As is.
until you change something.
Before you
So
go to the
you're
table,
right.
I want to
Do we
discuss
have
something.
Yeah, you can.
My question is there, if we find the developer $10,000 per pieces, we are agree to sell it?
No.
I don't know yet.
Well,
We don't know
they're
yet.
Yeah,
still- right, if
If
we
they
do
have
nothing,
somebody
they
to
just
buy it for
continue
2,000,
trying to
yes.
sell.
Right,
Councilman.
that's what I'm trying to say, is if you do the tabling, how it is right now is how it stays until we can
Because
get
we
that.
are, one asking for tax abatement, another one asking for not lowering it, so we got like, not going anywhere.
I'm
So
not
if-
sure I can explain it properly. Number three, they're looking for, if we get the price for $5,000, we can sell it. My question is there, if someone developer or builder coming for the $10,000 pieces, we are agree to sell it.
Mr. Councilman.
If we table this resolution, if we don't pass this resolution, we table it, The answer to your question is yes.
Yes, yeah.
Because that's already.
That's what he's looking
It's
for.
already there.
Yes. Then,
So the answer to your question is yes.
then my question is, $5,000, $10,000.
No, it's 10,000.
10,000.
No, no, they're asking for 5,000.
Right, that is being.
We're not
paid.
passing it yet.
That's what
That's
we
the
are,
resolution we have, if we wanted to change it to 5,000. If we do not do anything, it will stay the
Councilmember
same.
Musa, right now it's 10,000. It will stay 10,000. She was requesting right now if we would pass a resolution to lower it, but we're not. So I'm gonna request to table it until next time.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Nope, we got, well, he.
Motion and I seconded.
He seconded, yeah. Bye, and Charlie.
Okay. So we vote on it?
yes, she's gonna call now.
Sorry, I'm just taking my notes. but-
That's okay.
Okay, we can vote on it before I. Councilman Hassan,
Yes.
Councilman Al Samiri,
Yes.
Councilman Mahmoud,
Yes.
Councilman Chowdhury,
Yes.
Councilman Musa,
Yes.
Councilman Ryan,
Yes.
Mr. Mayor,
Pass.
Tabling pass.
Tabled, right?
yes.
Yes, for
Resolution
table.
2023-155 tabled.
Yes.
All right.
If I had taken my notes.
Yeah, all right, so we move to the next one. Resolution 2023-157, approving early voting plan for the city of Hamtramck.
My motion.
Second.
Mr. Mayor, Madam Clerk can describe this one, which I'm sure she's chomping at the bit to do.
So as you all know, last November, there was a proposal that was passed 22 that approved early voting.
Yes.
So you have 9 days of early voting, so it's not going to be AV ballots. It's literally going to be somebody tabulating their ballots for 9 days before the election. So obviously, City Hall is central, easy to walk to, everybody's familiar with it. So instead of doing it externally and charging and having our machines outside of the building for 9 days before early election, we decided to keep the early voting in City Hall so that it's like flows easily. There's not much change, people know where to come to vote, so that's the plan. We're just doing early voting at City Hall, and that's what you're approving.
Mr. Chair. Rona, is it gonna be inside a room, or is it gonna be in the hallways, or?
It will not be in the hallway because candidates are walking, well, actually, here's the thing.
Has to be room.
It will be a room. It only has to be for federal and state elections, so it's not for city elections, so you don't have early
That's
voting
right,
for city
I understand.
elections. So it will most likely be in the chambers if it's possible. Typically, it could be, because even if we have city council, they'll be done by 4 o'clock, we can have the machines out or whatever.
That's our tentative.
Yeah, that's what we're working on now. If something else comes up, council office would have been a great
Yep,
place
no
for
problem.
it.
I have a better office across from your office.
Yeah, the council office that you
Yes,
guys use.
no problem.
And I've been asking him, he's like, I don't know,
No,
so
no.
my,
you gotta use
my
it.
intent would have been
Yep,
perfect.
Perfect, you can have it.
And it's
You can go upstairs, we can start using the room.
and it's convenient, you know what I mean, so I
agree
truly,
with it,
if you
Councilman
guys are
Fine.
okay with it, then we'll do that. That was my goal, is to have you guys offer your
But-
office to me.
The absentee ballots still go out, right? Still goes
Absentee
out.
ballots are still absentee ballots.
Right.
But,
We need a
people
room
have the
now.
option to come in and
We're trying to
tabulate
get
the
Max's
ballots.
office, so we don't give up our council's office.
John, bring
And it's
bring the
only-
guys
it's-
tomorrow.
it's-
We have it perfect.
I know.
It's literally, you know how
10
much it
days.
is, it's 1 week, 5 days, and then the weekend and weekend. So it's literally just 1 week with the 2 weekends on each side,
I'm
right
all
before
right.
the election.
So Rona, so the nine days before the election, correct?
9 days, well, not including Monday, so it'd be Saturday to the following Sunday.
So how many more days
Are
do you
Sunday-
still have until that
And
starts?
even the weekend open.
This is for February for the presidential.
Presidential election.
It's not city
Oh.
election. It will not, we will not have early voting for city
National
elections. It is
election.
it's only federal and state.
This is for next year, am I right?
Next
Yeah,
year.
for next year, not
So
this year.
starting in February.
But we need to get the room ready, right?
Next year.
Not really, well, it's really,
Oh, Lord.
Machine plug in and go.
I could do it, like, we could get it ready, yes, we're gonna have to get it ready, but it's literally, I have to get a.
Taser.
We tabulator, I don't know where you're going with that, but yeah, we'll have to set it up with booths and.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So we need a room to get ready.
Yes.
But we still got time.
Another 4 months.
Plenty of time.
Plenty of time, yeah.
We'll sort all this out.
Yeah.
We'll figure this
I gotta
out.
tease you.
Go ahead. All right.
So vote.
We ready to vote?
Quick.
Yeah.
Mr. Mayor?
Go ahead and vote.
There's offices on the third floor, much more
You would think
professional.
all the department heads on the first floor
Much more
have it.
professional. And to be honest with you, I think third floor council office is the best idea that you guys
Second.
can. The second best idea?
No, oh, wait, you're saying that.
He's asking if there's a
I
second.
misunderstood what you said.
Oh,
Which council on the third floor? There is no council office on the third floor.
there could be.
Oh.
It's
It used to be.
No, I don't want them next to me.
It's doable. So you
No,
can
it's not
understand.
next to you, it was right here.
Oh, boy.
Just kidding. Okay, go ahead.
Ready? Councilman Mahmoud,
Yes.
Councilman Hassan,
Yes.
Councilman Musa,
Yes.
Councilman Rafai,
Yes.
Councilman Chowdhury,
Yes.
Councilman Al Samiri,
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, Resolution 2023-157 approved.
All right. The next one is Resolution 2023-158A, approving first reading and setting date for second reading and public hearing of the amendment and proposed ordinance to Chapter 96, foreclosed, vacant, or abandoned property.
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Mayor, myself and our city attorney are actually kind of excited about this one. I asked our city attorney to revamp some of the ordinance we already had on the books. Currently, we have on the books an ordinance forcing vacant properties to be registered. It doesn't have much teeth in it. It's kind of a novel thing. But our intent is to go after our delinquent building and property owners in the city. And this does not affect our current residents or business owners. This is only going after land speculators, essentially, of buildings that are laying dormant or property that is laying dormant, some of which has been for decades. Two of which that come directly to mind are large swaths of land in the city that are owned by paint companies that they won't do anything with. That the only thing that's being hurt is the city by not having that land to do anything with. So this is our attempt to change that. So I'll let Ode elaborate on that if he wants to.
Yeah, it just adds fees to people that are not somebody, it avoids people who are actively working or even have a plan on developing their property. It's only on people who, as Max said, have had years and years and years to develop it, they're just sitting on the property. It just makes it a little bit more costly for them to have it. And so, our intention is if it's more costly for them, they decide, okay, well, you know what, let me develop it so I don't have to pay this money. I can pay the money that I'm supposed to pay in fees towards an architect to figure out how to proceed with the property, or I can just sell it. And that's what we're hoping. They move to sell it to somebody who's willing to develop it, or, and then at the end of the day, if they don't wanna do either of those things, they can pay the fees, city gets some money, and we're okay with it, because, we know that after a while, they're gonna get tired of paying the fees. They're gonna wanna do something with it.
This doesn't affect actual people that are in the process of developing it. If they're actively developing the property, this doesn't apply to them. If you own a house and you have a side lot as an extra lot, this doesn't apply to you. And same with community gardens, it does not apply to that. So we specifically are designing it to go after delinquent speculators.
We're just strengthening what's already on the books. We're not doing anything more than that, so.
All right.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, let's vote.
Councilman Hassan,
Yes.
Councilman Al Samiri,
Yes.
Councilman Mahmoud,
Yes.